Hello and welcome back to the show floor at .local New York, where I'm new presenter, Shane McAllister. I'm one of the lead on the developer relations team, and I'm delighted to be joined now by not one, but two partners to talk AI, GenAI. Well, it's the topic of the moment, but we're going to talk about unlocking insights, essentially, with generative AI, with Google and Confluent. So I'm joined by Maruti and Lucas. Maruti, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell us about the day job in Google and kind of what occupies you, and we'll jump across to you, Lucas, then as well, too.
Sounds good. Nice to be here, Shay.
You're welcome.
And I'm so excited to be here because two reasons. One, both MongoDB and Confluent are proud partners, and I'm a partner engineering lead, mainly focused on our database partners. As part of my day-to-day job, I work with partners to understand how we can create a nice integration story, better together stories, and also help them how they can effectively build their solutions, products on Google Cloud and with Google Cloud. And end of the day, to help our customers solve their complex problems using Google Cloud and our partner products.
Excellent. And we work together quite regularly, so it's great to have you on this show. Lucas, we've had Confluent on the live stream before, a colleague of yours, Joseph Morais. But it's a pleasure to have you on board. Tell us about your role in Confluent and the day-to-day for you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me. So, first of all, I'm a solutions engineer with Confluent. My day-to-day job is pretty much helping our customers build data streaming pipelines through our Kafka products, right? Making sure that they are able to bring data in real time and in a reliable fashion.
Okay. So if you've any tech event these days is, all about Gen AI. Our keynote this morning, we saw Dave and Sahir on stage showcasing what we're doing, what we've been launching, what we're doing with our partners, et cetera, as well, too. And, it's very easy to get distracted about all these cool demos we see, all these amazing experiences. But, in what are the day-to-day challenges in the Gen AI space? Maruti, what are the common challenges developers face, and how does Google help overcome those?
Sure. So I think the major problem is that there are vast variety of new technologies, and developments are happening. And to keep up to date with all these things, developers are facing challenges. And this is where Google Cloud can help or simplify developers' life easy. Starting from, let's say, Google has this offering called Google AI Studio, which is more like a developer portal where they can log in, play with the LLMs, Google Cloud APIs. Mm-hmm. And it's more like a playground for them to get understand that their use case can be solved using GenAI and what kind of model is right appropriate for them. And once they understand this is the right way to build their application, they can promote or use the commercial grade or the production grade environment, which is the Vertex platform. Mm-hmm. And also, they traditionally people have data strategies or practices, lifecycle, CI/CD practices implemented, and they're struggling to figure out how they can use that existing stack to unlock, and then build easily, quickly the generative AI applications.
Okay. And in building generative AI applications, data's at the core. MongoDB loves to say it's a data developer platform. But increasingly, we're seeing that developers have more power in these decisions, these data-centric decisions. How does that manifest itself, Lucas, day to day with who you're working with in Confluent?
Yeah, 100%. With Confluent, we offer a managed solution for Kafka, right, with Confluent Cloud. And we see developers gravitating towards that. Getting that, heavy lifting out of their day-to-day function, right? Kafka can be so complex and so complicated. It can take weeks or months to deploy a Kafka solution. With Confluent Cloud, we make that so much easier. Right? Going towards those managed solutions can really free up resources to focus somewhere else, whether there is Gen AI or other applications. So we really see developers gravitating towards solutions like Confluent Cloud, like managed solutions, right? So that's a trend that we have been.
Okay. Yeah. And for Confluent itself, how have Confluent responded to the Gen AI revolution that we're seeing at the moment in terms of kind of making things easier to get insights with data to help developers do their jobs quicker, easier, be more performant? What sort of tools and what sort of challenges has Confluent faced in embracing the Gen AI?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we came out with a couple of tools recently that help not only with data governance, but also with processing of data and so on, which facilitates the life of our developers by a lot. Tools like Data Portal, which allows you to view the available data sets that you have in your environment and so on. Also, we came out with Flink recently on production, which is an incredibly powerful stream processing application. All those tools are able to help you build those Gen AI applications and get ready for those Gen AI applications.
And Maruti, obviously with Google Cloud and the host of generative AI applications that Google has been building and evolving and enhancing all of the time, essentially, how do you support developers in the flexibility that they need to create these generative AI applications that they are building day to day?
Sure. So one, they can use a platform which has like all the needs a enterprise or developers need to build their generative applications. It's all baked into one product. That way they can just learn or rely on one product. And two, we also try to bring generative AI to every product we have, right? For example, let's say Looker is one of the intelligence from Google, right? So right now, people can just use natural language way to create reports or chat with the data, right? And then we also have like Gemini for developers, where Gemini or the generative AI is part of the IDEs. There are the favorite IDEs. That way, as they're writing the code, you can get code assistance and code completion support as a developer. That way, you can speed up your development process. And then we also have a new featuring that was recently launched called BigQuery Data Frames, which is basically, if you're familiar with Pandas data frame to interact with databases, BigQuery came up with this offering where you can interact in a Python way of connecting to BigQuery, manipulate the data, and the compute is all happening on BigQuery. Now, if you're using Google Colab, which is a notebook from Google, you have a natural language way to, talk to the data.
Yeah.
So I think by taking advantage of all these features, which are part of every aspect of your AI data lifecycle, you can further, optimize or even speed up the way you can build this generative AI applications.
Yeah, and MongoDB had our Vertex AI integration as well too.
Exactly right. Like in addition, developers want to use developer platforms like MongoDB and Confluent, and that is where we work with our partner ecosystem partners like both MongoDB and Confluent to build like native integrations and have a nice story, generative AI story with our partners, right?
Yeah.
In terms of MongoDB, if customers wants to use generative AI build applications on top of their data that is sitting in MongoDB, they can pretty much use the same database for their vector as a vector database. And then they can integrate with Google Gemini and do applications which are more built on top of like RAG applications.
Sure.
Or we also built this extension recently, which is a way for LLMs or Gemini to call the MongoDB for more real-time data processing or data retrieval kind of things.
Yeah, and I know we've got a post up on our Developer Center blog if anybody wants to see that as well too. Lucas, like we talk about the power of generative AI and what it can enable developers to do. Do you have some examples of the sort of products or applications developers using Confluent have put together for some of your customers?
Yeah, 100%. Recently, I had a customer in the e-commerce sector use our three products, right? Google Cloud, Mongo, and Confluent together to review click-through rates of their customers.
Okay.
And in real time, be able to provide advertising of their products, right? So if a customer likes beige t-shirts, they were able to advertise beige pants or something like that.
So that's how it happens. You're responsible for that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a really cool use case and it's amazing to see live.
It's magic sometimes. You're kind of going, I'm not doing it. Hold on. And it's that you're aware of it. I know it's underlined by data. It's underlined by everything that you have in the stack. But, it's kind of, you're giving that helping hand there as well too.
Exactly. And it's also impressive to see how quickly they were able to deploy everything using our applications. Just a really cool use case.
And, that's obviously adding value into the process there. But in terms of the metrics that are coming from those sorts of transactions, they're important. Obviously, developers are building in this space, but they need to understand that what they're doing is working, how it's speeding up, how it's being more performance. Is that helping your customers get on board earlier or quicker with some of your tools?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, once you see one customer, one success story like this, right? Other companies in the same sector tend to gravitate in. So yeah, 100%. The more success stories we have, the more we see customers gravitating towards Kafka and towards tools like Mongo.
And I suppose, Maruti, the same question for yourself. Any really up-to-date good examples? I know you had Cloud Next a couple of weeks ago in Las Vegas, a huge event, double the size than it previously was. What examples did you see from the customers that were showcased there using generative AI technologies from Google?
So there are a lot of big customers like Uber and Benz.
Yes.
These Benz, they all thought that what their customer success stories. But stepping back, I think a lot of customers, irrespective of small or big, trying to solve a variety of problems using generative AI. Like for starting from chatbots, the classic examples, right? Providing customer service, and then also helping their internal developers enhance their productivity. And also, it's not just giving a text input and getting a text output. And also, you can also do things like anomaly detection on top of your data. So every aspect of the work we do can be further simplified, automated, using generative AI. And also with the latest developments and enhancements happening around images and audios, are also unlocking a wide variety of use cases. And basically, everybody is trying to solve that multimodal way of, taking advantage of generative AI.
And I suppose the innovations are coming thick and fast all the time. Lucas, in your mind, what sort of skill sets do developers need to keep up to date in this space, to keep, like, we're seeing new models, new LLMs, new frameworks, new orchestrators all of the time. How do you and your team and those that you're working with keep ahead of the curve in this space? What sort of skills would they be leveraging to try and keep up to date?
Yeah, 100%, Shane. We see Kafka developers become more and more wanted by recruiters and by companies and so on. And one of my favorite things of coming to events like this, it's hearing what our customers are asking us on our booth, right? And we've noticed that over the years, the question changed from what is Confluent, what is Kafka, to how can I get certified, or what new products do you guys have, right? And the question, how can I get certified, I really love that question, right? Because it shows the demand for the product. So I think that's one skill that everyone should be looking into. Kafka is the future of streaming data. And we're seeing a dramatic growth in Kafka use cases. So definitely Kafka developers will become needed as time goes on.
Okay. And then on your side, in the partner engineering, like, obviously there's lots of pulls to do this and do that and build the latest here. How do you prioritize what you would do in a partner ecosystem? How do you prioritize working with Mongo, working with Confluent? How do you know which way to head?
Yeah, good question. So think of us as a glue or the bridge between our partner products and our products. And we consider a variety of factors into consideration when we decide the roadmap or things that we want to prioritize. Obviously, the first one is the customer demand. Customers, the sales engineers or internal sales teams comes to us asking that if particular customers want to see this new feature, or they want to see more enhancement of the feature.
Comes through the customers as well to that feedback loop.
Of course, yeah. We closely work, our team closely works with the product management teams as well. Google Cloud and MongoDB product management team, the overall team, to figure out some of the things that we have to build. That's one factor, but at the same time, customer demand, what customers want to see, and we occasionally go talk to our customers directly as well to understand how they feel about the products and what do they want to see going forward.
And Lucas, you've mentioned there previously, like the level of data being generated now is enormous. It's growing exponentially time and time. How do your customers derive that insights, and how do the tools that Confluent have, working with the tools that Google help those customers derive those insights, and what sort of insights are more important to them these days?
Yeah, definitely, Shane. A couple of tools that we offer within Confluent that are really helping our developers is our stream governance package, right? Making sure the data governance is front and center for them. Tools like data portal, like I mentioned before, string lineage as well, which is a visual tool that allows you to build your whole streaming pipeline in one graphical.
Okay.
Way. Yeah. So tools like that, I think, are really important, right? To make sure that you have governance over your data, since data volumes keep increasing every day. So what do you think, Rudy?
Yeah, pretty much. Really. Google also has this data governance, a data fabric tool we call. It's called Dataplex, which is basically a way to do like data profiling on top of your data, and also do like automatic data qualifying things, data validation rules you can define. And also, at the same time, you can also define or understand data lineage at any point of time, understand where the data is flowing from starting from ingestion to where it is landing.
I love that term, the data lineage, right? So understanding the cycle, the life cycle of it. Right? Okay. So in a streaming perspective, there's insights you get from data streaming in, that you need to action now, right? And then obviously, once that moment has passed, not necessarily that data, but everything else behind that you would store long term. How does Confluent help in that space as well too?
Yeah, I mean, with Confluent, think about it as the central nervous system of your messaging needs, right? So it's one-stop shop for all your messaging needs. So let's say you're bringing data from Mongo into BigQuery, right? Use Confluent to do that, right? Confluent can stream your data easily and in real time, and it can really help with those needs.
Yeah, I mean, that's a common pattern we see across our customers, where customers want to use MongoDB plus BigQuery as their OLTP and OLAP store. And in order to facilitate the bidirectional moving of the data, Confluent plays a key role. And the combination of Confluent, MongoDB, and BigQuery can help with their OLAP plus OLTP needs. Plus, BigQuery has an inbuilt feature called BQML, BigQuery Machine Learning. That way, instead of dealing with multiple products, you can use this feature to create and train your models, if it is predictive AI, or even take advantage of generative AI models using SQL commands. And now once the insights are generated on top of that data can be streamed back to MongoDB for the applications to consume. And that can all be possible via the combination of the stack where MongoDB, Confluent, and BigQuery sit next to each other.
Okay. So depending, obviously, with all of this data streaming and moving and being stored and analyzed and metrics, there, depending on particular industries, there's always a concern, finance, healthcare, about integrity and reliability. How do you view that, Lucas? How does Confluent help in that space?
100%. If you look at Kafka itself, Kafka has some tools that are already pre-built into it that are so valuable when you talk about data integrity, like tools like acknowledgement, right? Making sure that your data is it was read before sending another data set in and things like that. So Kafka can be an integral tool when you talk about data integrity, right?
Yeah, so BigQuery or most of our products are HIPAA compliant, PII compliant, PCI. So we have a lot of variety of customers from industries use BigQuery and MongoDB, in fact, together to solve some of their challenges. And we also try to publish occasionally the industry architectures as well. That way, Dev talked about this in the keynote, where as part of the MAP program, we want to give like a custom or minimal configurable reference architectures or solutions they can deploy. Yes. So we always aim to do that. All three of us can, I think, echo to that statement where customers want to look for reference architectures easily, one-click deployable solutions, or probably tune a little bit to suit their situation.
Developers want to find the examples, the repos that they can leverage in their own work. We're nearly out of time. One last word from you, Lucas, in terms of one key takeaway from our conversation here, or our developer audience. What would you say to them in terms of our GenAI world that we live in now?
Yeah, I mean, real-time data is the future, right? And Kafka is in the center of that. I think learning more about Kafka is important for most of our developers. Real-time data is the future. That's all.
Excellent. Maruti, a key takeaway?
Sure. Google AI platform, we created that to simplify your AI needs, whether it's predictive AI or generative AI. Go look at the product, play with the product, and always check for the latest updates. and then start small, like do a pilot program, and then you can show the results to your leadership, show your team, other team members, and then you can go big.
Excellent. Listen, superb advice from both of you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Lucas from Confluent, Maruti from Google. Thank you for joining us at .local New York on our live stream. And it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.